Welcome to this tutorial on reading lead sheets for jazz piano. In this lesson, we will explore some voicing techniques and principles using the well-known jazz standard In A Sentimental Mood. If you scroll down to the video description, you can download this PDF document which contains all of the voicings and techniques that I'm going to show you today. So let's get started with the tutorial. Here are the first 8 bars of the tune, also known as the A section. We are going to work through each bar individually, and I will show you some different voicing options and techniques for solo jazz piano performance. The first thing that you should notice is that we have 2 bars of D minor to start the tune. This 2-bar passage is often referred to as the minor line cliche, and it's a common harmonic device that is found throughout the jazz standard repertoire. Let's examine the chord symbols one by one, and then we will explore some possible ways to voice these chords. The first chord symbol is D minor, so that's asking for a simple D minor triad. Here's a D minor triad. Next we have a D minor major 7, so that's asking for a D minor triad with a major 7. Next we have D minor 7, and then we have D minor 6. Notice the descending inner voice which connects each of the chords. So we can see from the minor major 7, the major 7 drops a half step to the minor 7, and that drops again to the 6. We can also incorporate the first chord if we play this triad in this position, and instead of moving to D minor major 7 here, we're just going to drop the root down by a half step. So D minor major 7, D minor 7, and D minor 6. So that sounds like this. So notice how smoothly and cleanly those chords are connected now. It's just a half step moving each time. And if we compare that to the first one, you can see that our hand is jumping around. Now it might be difficult to visualize this as a D minor major 7, so one thing you can do is play the root here. D minor major 7, D minor 7, and D minor 6. But remember, when we play jazz piano, we can omit notes, and certainly we can omit the root. We then have the same movement over G minor. So again, let's take the G minor triad, drop it down to G minor major 7, to G minor 7. And here, instead of having a G minor 6, if we look at the notes here, it's also the notes of E minor 7 flat 5. So if we put this on the top, we have a G minor 6. And with the E on the bottom, we have E minor 7 flat 5. And that sets up the minor 2-5-1, E minor 7 flat 5, A7 to D minor. And we'll talk about that shortly. The next step is to add some more movement into the left hand. So notice there that I'm playing the D minor triad, but I'm just arpeggiating the notes and then dropping down the bottom note by a half step. So and then over the G minor, the same thing. And then once we get to the E minor 7 flat 5, 7 falls by a half step to become the third of A7, and the flat 5 stays consistent, and that becomes the flat 9 of A7, and then down to D minor. Now there's many other ways that we can voice the minor line cliche. Let's finish the A section, and then we'll come back to add some more sophisticated voicings. So just to break those voicings down, starting from the minor 2-5-1, we have an E minor 7 flat 5, just simple chord tones, and then to A7, again just the simple chord tones with the flat 9. The flat 9 adds some extra colour, and then to a D minor triad. So now we go to a D7. So that would just be the basic shell voicing with the melody on top. Now, an interesting thing to notice here is that we have the 9 in the melody, and so if we build a major triad off the 9, we would have an E major triad. And so this creates a very interesting upper structure triad voicing. So we have the 9, the sharp 11, and the 13. And notice I've doubled the top and bottom note of the triad. You might have noticed in the introduction that I played, and there I'm just taking that triad and running it up the keyboard. Then we have fall down to the melody, so G minor, 7, and we can just go to C7 like this, but instead if we add that flat 9 over the C7, it adds some extra colour, and then to F major. So the 2-5-1 here, G minor 7 to C7 to F major 7, that's a 2-5-1 to the relative major of D minor. So that is the basic voicings for the tune. Let's now introduce some more sophisticated arranging techniques. So now I'm playing around with the inner voices. Instead of just having this descending line, I'm going to play it at the top and the bottom. Now that last one can be a bit of a stretch, so remember to roll the hand like this. So D minor major 7, D minor 7, D minor 6. Notice again that the left hand is outlining the pulse of the tune. And this frees up the right hand for more melodic ornamentation. So there we played the inner voice at the top and bottom of each chord. Another trick is to play it in the middle, so that can sound like this. So there we started with a big voicing. We have the 11 G in the melody over D minor. So we can play this big voicing. Here we have a stack of fifths in the left, a minor second interval, and another stack of fifths. And what's interesting is this is very dissonant on its own, but then when we play the fifths on either side, it balances it out. We can also add an extra 9 in there and even play 2 notes with our thumb. So it gives us a bit of a meatier voicing. And so from here, I'm then going to outline the inner voice. So D minor major 7, D minor 7 to D minor 6. And here let's start with a G minor triad, and then dropping the inner voice here. So again, it's happening in the middle of the chord. Instead of this E minor 7 flat 5, we can play E7 to A7, and then even a passing chord, E flat 7 into D minor. Here, it's a nice way to play the D7, so again, it's like a D7 with the 13 and the 9, and then those 2 voices drop. So we now have the flat 13 and the flat 9. Instead of C7 here, let's play the tritone. So F sharp 7. And then to F major. Let's play that all together. Be sure to download the PDF handout in the video description, which shows you all of the chord voicings that we have covered today. So I hope you have enjoyed this short tutorial on minor harmony. If you have any questions, you can post these in the comment box below, and I will see you all next time.